Welcome, Scorpio and Scorpio cross watchers, to your monthly love reading for March 2023. So I hope you guys have had a great week. There we go. I know words. Sorry. I hope you guys have had a great week and that your weekend is shaping up to be, restful, eventful, whatever it is that you need this week. So today we're going to be looking at the relationship situation, what each of you is thinking and feeling about each other, and then your actions or intentions towards each other. What I was kind of feeling initially, Scorpio, we have the Queen of Swords, Strength, and Three of Pentacles that all came out reversed. And then we do have the Four of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck. So, Scorpio, I feel like it just feels like your opinion about something is changing here. It almost feels like it feels like there was something that either you're holding back on, or it's almost like something may be falling apart and you're just kind of letting it go. Like you're just letting it fall apart as it goes, you know? Oh my gosh. Like, are you okay? In your heart space, we have the Ten of Swords with the Five of Pentacles. Like you're keeping your head. It's like, what's in your headspace here is Temperance. So you're keeping yourself balanced, but I mean, and I feel like you're kind of using your intellect to overpower your emotions here, but they're still there. It's almost like you're acknowledging the fact that they are present, but it's almost like you're not allowing those feelings to kind of, you're not allowing yourself to feel said feelings, if that makes sense. It's almost like you may have just gotten your heart, ripped out of your chest. And it's like, you're just going to pretend like it didn't happen, put your head down, get to work, keep doing your thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not going to be letting anybody know that what's happened has actually really gotten to you. Your person, we have the Two of Wands. We're just going to circle back here. I also feel here that this may not be the first time that you've dealt with something like this. It's like when things really cut you deeply, I feel like it's almost like you use that work to create that energy to create something. You know what I mean? It's almost like in order to, almost when I say like to expel that energy out of you, it seems to be really cathartic to create something. And it almost feels like you're starting to get some momentum on that too, actually. And your person over here, we have the Two of Wands with the Four of Wands. It feels like someone is trying to get your attention, but it's almost the energy of somebody that told you to like holler at them when you see them, and then you get there and you do, and they ignore you. It's a strange kind of energy. It's almost like somebody who changed their mind between when they told you to call them and when you actually call them. Can we get what's in this person's heart space? How are they feeling? Like, we have the Seven of Swords. How are they feeling? Okay, what are their actions or intentions towards Scorpio? What do they intend to do here? Yikes. So we have the Seven of Swords with their actions or intentions towards you as the Queen of Swords. So it just kind of feels like, I feel this person seems to think that they're protecting you by keeping you out of the loop on something. They seem to feel that it's like that they have your best interests at heart, and even if they have to hurt you to protect you, that's that's what they're gonna do. This card does talk about, deception, lies, deceit, that sort of, it's like all of those, the seediest parts of human nature, right? Human behavior, I guess. Um, and I feel like this person seems to feel like they're somehow saving you from it all. Um, it's almost the energy of somebody that is okay with turning themselves into a monster to fight the monsters that are coming this like towards the two of you, not realizing that allowing themselves to turn into that monster means that they're now a monster. You know what I mean? It's like you can't kind of turn that on and off, right? I do feel this might be specific. It almost feels like the two of you may have had a bit of a to-do or like a little bit of an argument here about how to handle something. And I feel like to a certain extent, this is how this person feels. They feel that they know more about the world that they're talking about, or kind of like whatever's going on here, whatever they're protecting you from. They seem to feel that they know more about the inner workings of it than you do. You may not want to hear this, but I actually feel that they do. I feel like there's things about themselves that they have not told you, and they know that world all too well. And I feel like the reason they're not telling you, it's almost like, number one, they don't want you to see them that way through that lens, And it also feels like it's almost like they would rather lose you than have you know the truth, is really what I'm getting here. So, here we are. I do feel, okay, yeah, look at this. Okay, look. With the Empress, the Six of Cups, and the Eight of Wands here at the bottom of the deck, I'm going to be honest. I feel like if things were a little bit different, it's almost like they would kind of just love to ride off into the sunset with you, but they just really seem to feel like that's not possible. It's almost the energy of somebody who's like their previous misdeeds have caught up with them. And it's almost like maybe they agreed before that, like, if you call out to them, they'll, you know what I mean? If you kind of remind them, if you see them, they'll come. And I feel like they're going through, their own personal, practically like their own personal stigmata or something. Like it feels like it's really, really heavy for this person. You may not see it that way because you don't have this emotional connection to it, but to this person, it makes them feel like a complete and utter failure. And I feel like they would rather, like hurt you and lose you, really. Not hurt you intentionally, but like they would rather lose you than have you know, I feel like have the world know this really ugly truth that they see about themselves. If that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to dig into this this Seven of Swords a little bit more. Can we get a clarifier? Seven of Swords. I feel like at one point, your person used to be proud of this. You know what I mean? It's like what they're ashamed of now. I feel like they actually used to be really proud of it. It used to be kind of like a feather in their cap, if you will. And it's like they've grown and matured and moved beyond that. And now they see that actually what they used to have a lot of pride in is not something that the version of them now wants to be proud of or is proud of. It feels like it's very shameful to them now. I need a clarifier on that Two of Wands. So we do have the Nine of Wands. You know what it feels like? it feels like there's this truth about this person, and I feel like they're kind of in this energy where it's like they're just going to leave you before you can leave them. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to kind of shut you out and be cold here before you can leave them. It's almost like they feel like it's easier for them to walk away from, this is just kind of from their perspective, okay? It feels easier for them to lose you of their own accord rather than have you reject them and then also lose you. You know what I mean? I know those things should be together, but I feel like those two, losing you and being rejected by you, to them feel like different. It's like they need to keep those separated, you know? Can we get a clarifier on that Four of Wands, please? Clarifier. Justice. I kind of feel like this person feels like they know everything about the situation, and it's like, and they know what you're going to think, and they know this and they know that. And it's like, no, they don't actually know what you think, because it actually feels like you react differently than, you know, the average bear. And I feel like this person kind of expects you to react the way everybody else does. You wouldn't, but because they're kind of assigning that to you before anything kind of comes to light here, it's almost like they're not giving you a chance to make your own decision, right? To decide what, like, if it's a deal breaker for you or not. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. The only person that knows that is you. It's almost like this person doesn't want people to see them as somebody that embodies both light and dark. It's like they just want to be seen as this one thing. And I feel like to a certain extent, it's like that seems to make them feel that if they're known as this one thing, that there's this, it's like they have this impenetrable force, right? It's almost like they feel if they find a way to keep themselves safe, if they find a way to defend themselves, then they won't ever be in that place again. Can we get one more on this Seven of Swords, please? See, what they're robbing themselves of here, though, is it's like if this person, if they continue on this track and they don't vary from it and they don't grow and they don't start to allow themselves to see things a little bit differently, I feel like they're just going to keep walking away from the 10 of Cups when it's offered to them. And I almost want to say, I feel like they know to a certain extent that they are, it's like they would rather walk away from that 10 of Cups than have this be exposed, period. I was going to say, can we get one for the Queen of Swords? So we got I think that's 10 of Wands, yeah. We got the Death and the 10 of Wands, both reversed. Here's what's a little peculiar. I feel like whatever this is that this person is kind of fighting off, it feels like maybe it isn't the first time, or it could be the first time that they've kind of fought off whatever's happening, but I feel like it's not the first time they've had to face either these people or a similar situation. It feels like it's the same BS where people try to come in and take them down. And it's like they're so used to it. It's almost like they don't let themselves get too comfortable in relationships because they know that whoever or whatever this element is, it's going to come in. It's going to come in. It's going to try to ruin it. It's going to threaten or blackmail them or whatever. And they're going to have to walk. So it's almost like they can feel it coming. And I feel like they start to pull away and pull away and pull away when they can feel this coming in. Now, it does feel, Scorpio, for someone that is as intuitive as you are, I feel like some of you, maybe you felt something in the air, but it's like you never would have guessed that it was going to be what happened. Right? it's almost this energy of like, just because this person knows that they're, or at least their plan is to leave you or lose you over you finding this out, you don't know that, right? It's just like all of a sudden this person just kind of drops you like a hot potato. And it's like, it's almost like they don't just drop you and walk away. It's like they drop you and they just stand there and pretend that you don't exist. Right? So of course that's going to, and I kind of admire what you're doing here, because I feel like you're not allowing it to kind of get inside your bones. I feel like you're not allowing it to affect how you see yourself, your self-worth, those sorts of things. But it's like, you can't help but feel a little heartbroken. But I feel like the way that they did it seems to have kind of hardened you against this person. You know what I mean? It's like, if there was a problem, if there was a this or a that, like they could have just told you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not stupid. You know something else is going on here. But they didn't have to leave you in the lurch like that, right? That wasn't necessary. It's like, maybe whatever trial or tribulation they're going through, maybe you would have chosen to walk or chosen to, you know what, that's too much for me. Maybe you would have, maybe you wouldn't. But it kind of feels like, I feel like at one point you may have felt that you kind of deserved to know. And maybe you still do, but I don't really see it as something that you're waiting out for. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not holding out for those answers about somebody's life who, you know, I want to say like who kind of dropped you first, right? Like you're not going to sit there and be, I almost want to say like, and be somebody's, from your perspective, somebody's number two, or, you know, kind of like almost want to say like the patsy at home. Unfortunately for this person, they really seem to be afraid of this getting out. They seem to feel like it would ruin everything. And that's why, even though it's almost like this person may be ignoring you, but you might see a tear in their eye because it's absolutely breaking their heart. I heard that actually, that it's kind of breaking their soul to do this, because it's really not what they want at all. So, can we get a card on this Ten of Swords here? Oh, I might sneeze. Ugh. Ten of Swords. We have the Hanged Man. It feels like, I mean, obviously you still have questions about this. And I feel like to a certain extent you may be keeping, you know, an eye on what's going on to see if there's something, for example, let's say this person drops you really quickly. I feel like you're keeping an eye on it to see, like, was there somebody else involved? Trying to kind of pinpoint, like, if this person was doing something that they weren't supposed to. And from what I'm seeing, I don't feel like they were doing it when they were with you. It feels like it's in the past. And I feel like that might be even a little bit more confusing, because they're, you know, then why, right? I do feel like you're trying to push through. It feels like there's this energy here of you feeling, it's not even the rejection that seems to be hitting you as hard. It's like the lack of trust, the lack of faith in your ability to handle things. You know what I mean? It's like, how could they expect so little of you? Can we get one on this Five of Pentacles here? King of Cups. I do feel that to a certain extent, you do kind of want to go in and prove this person wrong. Not in like a ploy or, a last ditch effort to, make something happen or not happen. It just feels like you kind of want to show this person that you're not like that. I feel like you kind of want them to see that it's like, it's almost the energy of you wanting them to know that you're not the kind of person that's going to turn on somebody on a dime because of something they've done in their past that they're not like connected to or a part. You know what I mean? It's like, it just feels almost like a betrayal that this person handling it this way. It feels to you like it's a betrayal. You kind of felt that this person had faith and trust in you, and what they're doing now is showing you that they don't have faith or trust in you, but from their perspective, they're doing it because they are absolutely head over heels for you and don't want you to be involved in something that it's like it feels like they carry so much shame around it that the thought of somebody else even kind of getting a whiff of it in the air, they just can't, they just kind of completely shut down. And can we get one for this? Hold on. Can we get one for the Queen of Swords? Another one for this Queen of Swords. These cards are a little thick, so I can never tell if it's one or two. So we have the Eight of Cups, but it kind of came out sideways. So you know what? I feel like to a certain extent, this person I feel like they're starting to, or it's almost like they're trying to formulate a way for this to not end, the two of you, for this to not kind of fall apart in this way. It's almost like I'm hearing, it's not so much that it's not again. It just feels like they're losing something that they actually really wanted this time, you know? Can we get a clarifier up on this? Temperance for Scorpio. Temperance. So we have 2 twos, 2 of Wands, and the High Priestess. I feel like even if this person did come in and kind of tell you the truth, I don't really see them having the strength to do that right yet. I don't feel like you'd be open to them. And it's almost like it would, if what I'm seeing, if they came in and told you in the energy that you're in, I actually feel that it's like you would totally reject them because you're still, not happy about how you're being treated here. Like there still is that animosity. And it's almost like it would make them fall to their knees and just kind of want to roll off a bank into some water and just let it carry them. You know what I mean? It feels like it's, they can handle losing you, but it's almost like they seem to, it's almost like they kind of can't face, or they wouldn't be able to handle knowing that they've hurt you to the point that you won't even speak to them. You know what I mean? It's like that would kind of destroy this person. And one on this Eight of Pentacles, please. So we have the Strength card, and the Strength card is reversed here. I am kind of seeing here that, hold on for a second. It's obviously up to you how you're going to handle this, right? With this combination, You can be mad at me. You can light me up in the comments if you like, but I don't think you're done with them. I feel like that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to get into a relationship with them. It could just be that you want to come in and really give them a piece of your mind. But I feel like it almost feels like if, for example, someone kind of pulled whatever they're pulling, you might be the person that would go in and give that person a piece of their mind, right? And it's almost like you kind of feel there's something in you that's like, you know what, I would usually be doing that, but there's something about this situation that makes you not want to. You don't feel the drive to do that, right? It's like something about that, at least in this situation, has changed for you. It's almost like you get it. Maybe you don't understand all of the ins and outs, but it's almost like there seems to be something here about you end up seeing what this person is up against day after day after friggin' day. And it's almost like, may not be the actual situation. You may go in wanting to kind of like tell this person what you really think about everything. And you get there and it's almost like you can see that there are like the vultures are circling, or like the vultures are starting to pick at them. And it's almost like, I feel like you see them or realize almost like how broken this person was. It almost feels like you're looking at them like, you're not really even sure how they held it together as well as they did for as long as they did. I'm going to be honest. You might not want to hear this. I feel like if that is the actual case, I feel like when you go in and you see them, excuse me, handling all of the BS that's getting thrown their way, excuse me, I actually feel like you might, at least in that moment, I feel like you might, I'm sorry to say this, but I feel like you might kind of fall for them again here. And, maybe that's not for everybody. If you want to get mad at me, you're welcome to. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like you feel you got kind of screwed around here, right? That you got the wool pulled over your eyes, and you go in to tell that person like, hey, buddy, F you a little bit. And it's like, and then you get there and you see that it's like there's such chaos. It's almost like just feels like whatever you see is going on with this person, it just kind of makes you see them in a really different light. And almost, it feels like you're kind of thinking like, damn. It's almost like maybe you didn't know that it was that bad for them, or you didn't realize kind of what they were up against. I mean, obviously, because they were hiding it from you, right? But, okay, can we get one more on this? 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So we got the devil here. I also want to say that I feel like the physical attraction between the two of you, it's like a little bit like fireworks. And it's not that, that you keep getting drawn back for that, but I feel like when you see them, I'm kind of seeing that it's like the way that they do this, the way that they kind of try to hide this or cut you out or whatever it is, it makes you see them as very weak. And I feel like, and then you kind of go over to be like, listen, and you get there and it's like, you can see them getting pulled in so many different directions by so many people and just handling it one thing after another. And it's not like it's stress free. You know what I mean? It's almost like you can see them putting their head in their hands and like, oh, for the love of, you know what I mean? So it's like you see that that's what they've been going through. And I feel like it's almost like you see that that's what they've been, that energy is something they've been hiding from you. You know what I mean? It's like they leave the stress at the door when they're out with you, and then they come back to that mess that they feel responsible for. And now that mess could be, just maybe their life is really chaotic, or it could be a lot of different things, right? You'll know what that is because you'll see it. And it does feel a little bit here that may kind of like activate because I feel like to a certain extent, you do still care about this person. I feel like for a lot of you, you do really care about them. And it kind of activates this thing for you to want to come in and help them, right? And it almost like feels like you might hold back out of respect for them. So I think I'll leave it there, Scorpio. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful and brought you some clarity. And my thoughts escaped me. I should probably have another coffee. Sorry, Scorpio. So these guys are coming out today, and then of course I will have the mini love reads on Sunday, and then the next Thursday will be the singles and new love reads. So I hope that this helped. I hope that it brought you a little bit of clarity and helped to kind of fill in the picture for you. And we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.